Welcome back to another episode of Viper Squadron podcast. I'm your host, Scott Smith. I have with me um, Andrew
Yep.
and Darrin
Yogi.
and Chris.
What's up, everyone?
That's that goofy guy. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. On Monday, an article was released for a preview of the Naboo Royal N-1 Starfighter. Whatever your feelings are about Episode 1, you have to admit this is the best, sleekest, fast-looking ship that we will have in the game.
I don't know about that.
What? What do you think is better?
As far as sleekness and the way it looks,
Yeah.
Hey, it's a very smooth-looking fighter.
sorry. If we're gonna go with how it looks, the coolness of it, and the I don't know, the midlife crisis dudes freaking buying a Corvette technically. I'm talking about the Beelzebub, whatever the hell it's called. That thing looks cool as hell. I mean, the Naboo fighter looks like I don't know somebody.
Yeah, it looks like a sports car.
It looks like somebody grabbed the end of it, stretched out, and they just wanted to make it longer.
Okay.
Well, it is Naboo, where everything's fancy.
Well, yeah. There you go. It seems like some rich kid's toy yacht, that they just run around the pond in or something.
I get it.
We get to know about what is it actually?
Well, I mean, it really is a rich kid's toy yacht.
Yeah, because this is the Royal Fighter.
Granted.
So it's only
But it's cool because background lore, all the pilots are volunteers.
yes.
Oh, sure enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I don't know. To me, it just looks like a toy. It doesn't look like it's. It doesn't look like it's a starfighter. It just doesn't.
What are you saying? You're saying it's the rubber ducky of space?
Yeah. I mean, come on. If you really look at that fight over Naboo, I mean, it's like everybody was on autopilot and just flying, letting the computer do all this stuff. It just seems cheap to me.
Well, I mean, they weren't on autopilot the whole time. And the
Just
autopilot
Anakin's.
was taking them to there. I know all the other pilots would be experienced enough to know how to turn it off.
Well,
So
it didn't seem like they were doing that.
It didn't seem like they knew what they were doing.
Honestly, it didn't to me. It really didn't.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
We're gonna have to watch it again.
I've watched it many times. I don't know. Everybody doesn't necessarily like the trilogies or prequels, whatever you want to call them.
Prequels, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually enjoyed them. I mean, were they high quality super Star Wars stuff? No, George Lucas kind of phoned it in, but that's not the point. I liked the movies for what they were, and they were entertaining, and they brought us some new stuff. And I'm sorry, but the Naboo pilots and their toy boat freaking fragile, I think, looking starfighters, tough.
All right, and now that is Darren's take on the Starfighter. Okay, all right. So, thank you for your opinion.
Absolutely.
We'll have more discussion on it, I'm sure, later.
I'm sure.
Okay,
I just started drinking, so fun.
Yeah. So, well, I've been drinking for a little while. Okay, so let me get back to what I have down here. Up until Qui-Gon tells Anakin to stay in the cockpit, we didn't get to see much of this ship. At that point, other pilots took off, but it was not until Anakin decided to do something do we get to see its true speed and maneuverability of the Naboo Royal N-1 Starfighter. So let's take a look at the ship, and you guys see the picture. Nice picture. I know Darrin loves it.
Where? What am I looking at? Where am I looking?
You got the little message that I sent you with the notes.
Oh, I probably do somewhere. I just haven't looked at it.
All right, so okay, so this expansion pack, it's going to come with the ship. 6 pilot cards, 7 upgrades, 2 quick build cards, and of course the dial and some tokens. You know, and they gave a little preview of all the extra stuff that comes with it, all the, you know, the dial and the tokens and stuff. We didn't see anything super special in the tokens, except for there's that one condition card that we'll get to later.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, for the actions for this ship, where am I at here? Sorry, I'm trying a different setup today.
You got a boost and a barrel roll? That's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a white focus, a white lock, a white barrel roll, and a white boost. So, I mean,
I'll admit that's a pretty sexy damn dial, though.
all right,
Yeah, the dial's good.
Yeah, it is.
No one turn, though.
All right, hold on.
Hold on, what, man? The first picture's the damn dial. I mean, what do you want me to do? Oh, I'm not going to ignore that dial because I can't see it now. Go ahead, Scott. I'm
Stay with
fucking
the
with
flow,
you.
buddy. Stay with the flow. Okay, so then the stat line for this thing, so it has 2 attack dice, 2 agility, 3 hull, 2 shields, and 1 force for only Anakin, and of course it's recoverable.
I disagree with
Now,
that.
what's that?
I disagree with that.
With what?
Well-
Anakin having a force?
Okay, maybe it's okay. Because he did kind of inadvertently be using the force when he was a pod racer and such.
I mean, he did kind of accidentally blow up a battleship, so.
Yeah. A droid
Eh.
Yeah, especially after he did. He's like, whoops.
Yeah.
and took off. But his Jedi, you know, feelings is what gave him the agility how to maneuver so quickly in that ship.
Really?
What?
Really?
I'm
Yeah,
kind of wondering how much of that was Anakin and how much of that was R2D2.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Okay, granted, Anakin, when he was younger, like at that time, his force feelings really dealt with mechanical stuff. How to, you know, he could like sense what was broken, what could be fixed, and what could be tweaked. So
But-
really, the flying part really wasn't him so much as it was. I agree, a lot of R2.
But you
So
know,
R2 should have a fucking.
oh, listen. Before the pod race in episode 1, one of the reasons what caught on Qui-Gon that he had force powers was that he finding out that he was the only human that can do the pod racing.
Yeah.
So that was the first clue, and it's because his Jedi reflexes is what allows him to maneuver so like he does.
Yeah, and that's true, but
And that's why he's got
flying
one.
a pod racer versus flying a starfighter is kind of different.
Yeah, not kind of.
I mean,
But,
he likes
I mean-
to drive a car. That doesn't mean I can go fly an F-22.
Yeah, I mean, just because he had better twitch reflexes than the average human.
That's why he gets one force.
All right. Anyways.
All right. All right. So you're talking about the dial. So let's see. It's got a 1 white straight and banks, no turns. A 2 blue straight and banks with white turns. 3 blue straight and banks, a white turn, and a red talon roll. 4 white straight and a 5 white straight.
I think somebody lied to FFG when they gave some stats.
I've seen
Why?
a
Because
few critiques of that. That it should be more closer to the X-wing, but that's not
Yeah.
a bad dial.
No, it's a great dial. I mean, really. I mean, you got a 3-way turn and a 3 Talon roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
And a
Talon
4 and 5
really
straight.
gives stress.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm saying that's a good damn dial. I mean, X-wing dial isn't that bad? Isn't that good? Is it?
No.
It's about the same. It just doesn't have any 3 blues.
The X-wing doesn't.
No, all the blues are 1 and 2.
So, well,
For 5 health, I mean, I don't see where they're that fast. I mean, I can see it maxing out at a 4 straight. Maybe making a red. But a 5 straight?
well, we'll see. And then, of course, for their ship ability, they have the full throttle, which is after you fully execute a speed 3 to 5 maneuver, you may perform an evade action.
Come on.
It's fantastic on defenders. I want to find out how good it's going to be on these things.
Yeah.
Well, this 3 to 5 gives you an evade action, though. The defenders give the 3 to 5 is for making a K-turn, right?
No, it's the exact same ability as the defender does. Just the defender has a white K-turn plus this. This just has
That's not bullshit.
Yeah. I guess we lost Chris somewhere along the way. So hopefully he'll be calling back in. Okay, so full throttle on that. And then the pilots they give. The first one is called. Now, of course, these are names. I don't know what they all sound like are supposed to be, but this one is like
yeah.
Rick Ollier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll go with that. He's an Initiative 5. His little titles: Bravo Leader. He has an ability that says while you defend or perform a primary attack, if the speed of your revealed maneuver is higher than the enemy ship's, roll 1 additional die. Chris, you're back.
Yeah, I lost the camera. I was just trying to fix it real quick.
Yay.
All right, cool. So we got down to the pilots. We just went over the first pilot.
Okay. Oh, Rick Ollie.
Ollier.
That's the guy I'm most interested in flying because I want to put him in a list with Anakin and Obi-Wan and Aether Sprites.
That could be interesting here. That
Yeah.
really could be interesting.
Maybe throw a few torpedoes on him just in case he's not going faster, and I think he could be a lot of fun.
Probably going to be about, 40 points?
I'm guessing mid-40s.
That's at least 40.
Yeah, probably. All right, so let's get to the next
Oh
one.
my God.
The next one is Anakin Skywalker. Before he's an Initiative 4, and of course their title is Hero of Naboo.
Blah, blah, blah.
It says, before you reveal your maneuver, you may spend 1 force token to barrel roll. This is not an action. So.
What was that line in the movie? What was it? Let's roll. That's a good maneuver.
Let's do a barrel roll.
I think it was spinning.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was a good idea. Cheese factor.
So they did a picture. They did a little picture diagram of Anakin using his ability. So they show him using his force, barrel rolling to the right, doing a 2 straight, and doing a barrel roll to the left to go around an asteroid. I mean, I guess that's probably the easiest way to explain it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, doing 2 barrel rolls it's kind of situational, but it could be really, really good too.
That could make for some serious arc dodging.
Yeah.
Especially if he has an EPT and you can give him outmaneuver.
I would bet as a Jedi he's not going to get an EPT, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll take you up on that, Darren.
Okay. One small base ship at Habitat.
All right, I'll take that.
Okay.
Okay, so what's this?
What?
All right.
What
was all that?
Mr. Metz and myself are having a wager.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't think Anakin's going to get an EPT. I think he will.
Okay. So we'll see. I mean, we only got 13 days, and we'll find out for sure.
It'll be on the app before then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right. Well, maybe.
Probably.
So the next pilot is Padme Amidala. She's an Initiative 4 also, and they gave her Aggressive Negotiator.
not
Wait,
Anakin.
I was going to say, didn't Anakin use that line?
Yeah.
Aggressive negotiations.
Yeah, but in the arena on Geonosis, he said something to her when they're behind the little pod, and she said this was aggressive negotiations.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So her pilot ability says while an enemy ship in your front arc defends or performs an attack, that ship can modify only one focus result. Other results can still be modified. You guys get that?
Yeah.
So
if I roll 3 hits,
from what I'm getting from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one gotta go first, Chris or
Chris? Go ahead.
Chris, go ahead.
So I've been looking at this card, and I kind of figured out how it works. So let's say I'm using an X-wing with marksmanship, and I'm shooting at Padme, and I roll, let's say, 2 focus results and a hit, and I got a focus token. Well, because of Padme, I can only spend that focus to change one of my focus results. But the marksmanship will still let me change a regular hit into a crit. She doesn't stop that. I just can't spend a focus token for its full strength.
Oh, so like if you had like three focuses, you can't use it on all 3.
Yeah. So say she's shooting at a TIE fighter, and they roll 3 focus results, and they got a focus token. They can only change one of those dice into an evade. Which I think will be nasty if she's got ordnance on her.
Oh yeah, I have to agree with that. I think I'd fly her before I fly Anakin. In multiple ways, but we're going
her defensive or offensively with Juke going, I'm gonna make one of your evades into a focus, and then you can only change one focus into an evade again.
Yeah, I see that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Especially if she gets that free evade off from going fast enough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Oof.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. The next one is Danae
Elberger.
She got a fancy first name and a burger.
German.
So okay. So she's an Initiative 3. Her title is Bravo 5. And she said her pilot ability is while you defend or perform an attack, if the speed of your revealed maneuver is the same as the enemy ship's, that ship's dice cannot be modified.
All of these are pretty damn nice pilot abilities. I ain't gonna lie. Even fucked Skywalker.
So, any thoughts, Chris?
I love how you instantly go to me for this one.
You're the one that brings the list, so.
Oh, you better believe I'm gonna abuse. I'm gonna have a bunch of Naboo Starfighters if I can. 4, I want to get. 5 would be perfect.
I think you can probably get 3 with upgrades.
To see how many you can fit in a list, then you know.
I would bet. Well, it depends on how many upgrades you put on them. You could probably get 4 in.
Yeah. But yeah, she's pretty nasty. Especially if you can outmaneuver your opponent with her. But I feel like if you bring her auto-include upgrade has to be that new astromech that comes in the pack, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Shut up there.
Okay. Now, go ahead. Chris, anything else?
Really? Juke will definitely, of course, be good on her because then they can't modify that focus. Well, they could modify it anyways. Yeah, she's pretty straightforward with her.
Yeah, but it says they can't modify their dice. It doesn't say she can't modify them.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so she has 2 points. Still works.
Yeah, that's pretty ugly. I ain't gonna lie.
Juke's probably be the most popular upgrade on some of these fighters.
Yeah.
Just because of the pilot abilities.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it's no different than Phantoms or Defenders.
Ooh, that's gonna be a bad day for Phantoms.
Could be.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm secretly thinking that.
I have a feeling I'm gonna buy 5 of these.
What's that?
I have a feeling I'm gonna buy 5 of these.
Your Y5?
I'm going to buy Y5 because I want to paint them. I want to make them look good.
You don't like the yellow?
I don't.
I know I've seen color schemes of them where the yellow was. I know there was one they had where they were blue, and it was like a police force type theme. I forget which Starfighter it was when the old games where they were blue.
This is too New England Republican looking shit. Too plain.
Okay.
I see all the pilots wearing sweater vests and shit.
All right, so the next pilot, there's an Initiative 2 pilot. It wasn't previewed in this article, but you still see a real grainy picture of it from the first reveal article. It's a generic pilot, so there's no pilot ability, and it looks kind of like Royal Flight Officer, but I'm not 100%. So, and then the next one is the Naboo Handmaiden. It's an Initiative 1. Their little title is Regal Ruse, and it's limited to 2. It says at setup, after placing forces, assign the decoyed condition to one friendly ship other than Naboo Handmaiden. So, let's go down to the condition card real quick. Where am I at here? Okay, decoyed. It says, while you defend, each friendly Naboo Handmaiden in the attack arc may spend 1 evade token to change one of your results to an evade result. So that's anybody in the list, if it's, whatever ship it is. Now, The second part of it says, if you are a Royal Naboo N-1 Starfighter, each friendly Naboo handmaiden in the attack arc may spend 1 evade token to add 1 evade instead. So it's not just, making a focus or whatever, turning 1 die. It's adding 2 extra die.
Mm-hmm.
If there's 2 of them, of course.
So they can't beef each other up, but they can really make some of those ace pilots hard to kill first.
Right, and then the little, the little picture that they show on here is Padme with the 2 handmaidens, and I think it's General Grievous coming at him, and General Grievous is shooting at the at Padme, and she rolls a focus and a blank, and then the 2 handmaidens add 2 evades. So, I mean, it's pretty simple on that one. But it comes with its, of course, the card and then the little token. So that's all the pilots and pilot abilities. The upgrades that are coming with this pack. The first one I want is one that's already available. It's Daredevil. So you guys know what that one is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what do you guys think about adding that on one of those?
Maybe. I don't know. If I had to choose between Daredevil and possibly like Juke, I don't know. It's very situational.
But would it be safe to say that there's going to be an EPT if there's given a talent slot if they're giving you a talent card?
Yeah, I'd say it's almost guaranteed that at least some of them are going to get EPTs.
Yep. So, how about you, Darrin? Anything?
I could see Daredevil being on one of those maneuverability, because otherwise you don't get the one turn. Normally you don't get a 1 turn on that style. So using Daredevil give you that extra added arc dodging. I can see it.
Yeah, because
Daredevil on an A-wing right now is only 3 points. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Duke is 5. I don't know if they're going to do the same point cross. I'm assuming with both small base ships. If you're short for points, it could be something handy.
Yeah, maybe if you need a few points to save or fill in a small gap, yeah, I can see using it.
I mean, with that 1 turn can make a small base ship look serious. Really, it can basically almost turn on a dime.
Yeah. It could be good, but I mean, if I'm going for a lower point EPT, I'm kind of tempted to go for elusive.
It ain't that cheap there, Andrew. That's 3 points still.
It's relative.
Yeah, marksmanship you can't go wrong with. Just got to get that bullseye arc.
Yeah.
That's the only restriction to that, though. I mean, with Juke, you don't need to worry about that, or you don't have to worry about with Daredevil. You don't have to worry about the.
So let's get next to the next one that I have here. It's the sensor, and it's called passive sensors. It has 1 charge, and it's recoverable. It has the action header. It says spend 1 charge. You can only perform this action in your perform action step. While your charge is inactive, you cannot be coordinated. Before you engage, If your charge is inactive, you may perform a calculate or lock action.
That's odd.
That is actually huge for something that I've realized about that upgrade. I've noticed in X-Wing, one of the weaknesses for low pilot skills is if they've got ordnance, that's 2 to 3 ordnance. If your opponent knows, oh, he's not going to get in range to get that target lock off because I'm not going to move in range yet, you can delay that action now to get that target lock after they've moved into range. If you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, but I think I'd be a little more excited about it if it was a modification instead of an upgrade. Because there aren't that many ships, or instead of a sensor, excuse me, there aren't that many ships that can take sensor slots. Whereas a modification you could put on any pilot skill, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
All right, so to me, I mean, like, what? It's like you're spending your action to get a calculate. It's like, so it's pretty much giving you the option to add calculate or lock to your action bar.
Yeah, it's a. I see it as a delayed action.
Okay, well,
only when you perform action step.
Yeah. So your suggestion, Chris, wouldn't work. Well, see, it's actually contradicting itself. Oh, no. It says the action is to spend a charge. So if you spend your action to spend that charge, that gives you the ability to use the calculator lock where you engage.
Right, and it's a may, so you don't have to must. If you just you can say the first action you do is spend that charge. And if you have nothing that has coordinate, in your list, then that doesn't even matter. And then you get that extra calculate or lock whenever you want it.
Yeah, because then
right before I can see. So it's that's that extra delayed part, right?
Mm-hmm. Because I see myself having an ordnance on a low pile skill like Naboo Starfighter. I'll do that, get my delayed action, because I don't see coordinating in my future. Move in, focus, opponent moves in the range, and then later I'm going to pop the target lock off, and now I got a target lock focus on an ordnance shot.
Yeah. Your action is to spend your one.
Like, I don't see myself using the calculate too often. I see it doing it more for a target lock.
What I'm saying is your scenario you just gave, you can't move in and then take a focus action. Because you have to use your action to spend a charge to get the ability to get the calculator lock.
But Darrin, if you use your very first move, the very first time you move, your first action is to spend that charge as my perform action. It doesn't say that you get the. Oh no, you do get it back.
It's
recurring.
Oh. So
yeah.
okay, I gotcha. I'm looking at the card.
It's like for that first engagement, like if you're moving up with like a pilot skill 2 ship first, and they have like pilot skill like 4 and 5 ships, they're going to be in range when it comes to the engagement phase. But when you finish that pilot skill 2 move, you might not be in range to target lock.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I get
you. So then you would spend that charge on that first move. Basically keep it spent.
Yeah. Now, one of the interesting things with that I've seen a lot of people arguing about on the FFG forums is you can use that to give target locks to ships that don't have a natural target lock action, like the TIE Phantom.
Right. I mean, just like it has a calculate, so it doesn't say it has to be a droid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just picturing James with 4 Phantoms that can target lock.
Oh. Yeah, I don't like that.
Do the Phantoms have a sensor slot?
No, not naturally.
Well, then they can't take it.
Yeah, they are.
It's
I'm
a
sorry,
sensor slot.
yeah, they do have a sensor slot.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just they don't have target lock, so they can't take fire control system, which is one of the better sensors for them at the moment.
Yeah, they do have.
Oh, they sure do. That's not
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
He would have to drop some EPTs though to do that. I don't think he's gonna drop the juke.
Not right away, no. And we don't know how many points this new sensor is going to be either.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to make. If it's like 10 points, I don't see it being used a lot. But if it's like 3 or 4, then I see it being pretty common.
Yeah, I bet it's going to be at least 6.
Yeah, they tend to overprice things initially, so I could see that.
Well, at least the good thing is since they're doing their 6 months, new points, structure, that's only going to be in July, so it's only going to be out for like a month before the next point adjustments happen. So it's one of those things that if they see they started it at too high of a price and nobody's using it, that they can bring it down.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be closer to 2 because they're going to do it at the end of July.
Well, didn't they do the January one, like right in the middle of January?
No, it was like at the end of the month.
I have to go back and look. I don't remember what date it is. But yeah, probably, right around the same time of the month that it's coming. But still, even at the end, you're only talking 6 weeks.
Yeah.
5-6 weeks
Yeah.
after it comes out. So, but
I mean, the question is 5 or 6 weeks going to be enough time for them to decide, oh, we need to make these points changes? Or are they going to decide, well, this hasn't been out that long. Let's wait until the next points adjustment before we make any changes to these.
But didn't they do an extra adjustment for like the Upsilon shuttles?
Yeah, because that had been demonstrated to be
Way overpowered.
Overpowered for the game. We
Right.
don't know that these will be yet. If they turn out to be, then absolutely they'll do it. But if they, if it's one of those things, kind of wait and see things, I could see them saying, "We'll just leave it as it is for another 6 months and just see how it plays out."
Yeah, it could. But we'll see. Of course, everything's just we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so it comes with a torpedo, and it's called plasma torpedoes. So something new. It has a 3 front arc attack. It's range 2 to 3 with no range bonus. It has 2 charges, and it has the attack lock header to spend 1 charge during the neutralize result steps. Crit results are canceled before hit results. After this attack hits, the defender loses 1 shield. This is something that's also in that Hyena bomber expansion pack. Anything?
Well, it's a lot like the first edition.
Yeah. I think back in first edition it was a 4 attack base, wasn't it? Not a 3?
4 or
No,
5.
it was a 3, but I think you lost a shield in addition to any damage you took.
Yeah.
Now
So
I
it
think
didn't change too much.
you
I think
lose a shield. If you hit, you lose a shield, and then you take damage. So I think it actually got a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't really specify the timing on that. After the attack hits, which you have to. An attack hits if the defender does not nullify all damage.
So yeah, if it says after attack hits, that means after the neutralize step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're not going to lose a shield. Then, say I had a crit that wasn't canceled. That crit's not going to go through because the shield part comes on after. Yeah.
But if the defender has no shields, then that bonus drop of shield doesn't count. It's like first edition.
Yeah, like plasma torpedoes, it's not going to do good against most of the Empire ships. It's not going to do against. It's not going to be good against Vulture droids, sadly.
Yeah, because of no shields, the torrent fighters.
Some
right?
of the
Yeah.
the Vultures, no shields. Some of the scum ships have no shields. So you might not always get your bang for your buck when you get it, but it's still a safe bet to tech. Like if you know your local player group is like heavy on rebels, that's mostly shielded ships.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're gonna play Chris.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't always have to play my rebels. I've been diving into my scum, haven't I?
Yeah,
Ain't
but
that right, Scott?
you always like to have ships with shields.
I don't remember the last time I've seen you fly a ship without shields.
Yeah.
Just looking up the 1.0 version of this. It was
Uh-huh.
a four dice attack.
Was it?
Ah, so it was a 4 dice. Ah, I knew it.
But in this case, you spend your target lock, and of course, you target target. If the attack hits after dealing damage, remove one shield token from the defender.
So the order is a little different now.
Slightly.
Yep.
So I think it's really going to come down to how many points this thing is. If it's like 6 or 7 points, then that could be a viable contender to proton torpedoes.
I see it being at 8. It's kind of like a middle ground between the ion one and proton.
Yeah, I see it being at least 7 or 8 because in the 1.0 there's 3. So using that double factor, it's going to be everywhere between 6 and 8.
Come on, cat, get down.
All right. All right. So the next thing they have is a new astromech. It's an R2A6. It's a Republic-only astromech. Because after you reveal your dial, you may set your dial to a maneuver of the same bearing of a speed 1 higher or lower.
That's pretty handy.
That is huge. Without any drawbacks. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's not any negative on that.
I have a question on that.
Okay.
Okay, after I review my dial, you may set your dial to a maneuver of the same bearing of a speed 1 lower, higher or lower. So on my fighter space, if I reveal a 3 Talon, can I make it?
Because it wouldn't work on a Talon.
No, because there's no other Talon speeds.
Doesn't really say that. It says you may set your dial.
No, it says you may set your dial to a maneuver, so it has to already be on the maneuver dial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't work on Talons, but it's like the Denis Elbringer is going to be like her best friend.
I see people running her probably somewhere between always at speed 2 or 3 move with that astromech. Because that's getting you your best ballpark range for most of the maneuvers your opponent's going to choose once y'all get close to each other. She'll be like, okay. The only downside is she's a pilot skill 3, so she's going to move before the aces do.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why she's only a pilot skill 3.
Like,
but it also could help when you're flying through the debris and asteroids and whatnot.
Or if someone tries to block you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even a lower pilot skill, someone has a 1 or a 2. They put something out there and you can just change it. So, all right. So that's about all the upgrade cards that they preview. All that's left, of course, are just the tokens. Yeah, you see, I was bored. I even wrote down every one of the tokens that we're getting in the pack on our notes.
I'm glad you did that. I need to know how big of a bag I need to put in.
See, well, let me just tell you, it comes with the ship silhouette for the dial upgrade. It comes with the number 17 ship marker, 3 of them, and then it comes with number 17 locks. It comes with 4 charges, 1 stress, 2 shield, 1 disarm, 1 focus, 1 evade, 1 force, and 1 decoyed condition token.
Okay, so my argument right here is how come
What's that?
how come I only see 3 charge tokens on there and there says 4?
Because there's actually 4.
I don't
Are you
see 4.
talking about the layout that from the last
Yeah.
time?
I see the whatever's sitting down there. I only
All
see
right.
3 charge tokens on 4.
Let me see. Because you see 3, but do you see the 1 right underneath the other 2?
Not there.
There are, if you look to the one on the far right, if you look at the bottom of it, you can see there's another one right underneath it.
It's divisional.
It's 4.
I see 3.
So anyway, now I gotta scroll all the way back down. Let's see. I'm almost there. All right. So there's only one other thing that is kind of in the Star Wars, big Star Wars, not just X-Wing, came out this last week. But my hopefulness is that it's going to tie into X-Wing at some point. There's a new book coming out. It's called Alphabet Squadron. All right, and on StarWars.com and on the Star Wars Books Facebook page, they put some blurbs out there about it. They have, let's see, what the hell? I'm sorry, my whole thing just went all over the place. Went all the way back to the top. Anyways, all right, so StarWars.com, well, what they report is, from a certain point of view, the rebels are traitors to the Empire. Agreed. Putting the innocent people of the galaxy at risk. In the last days of the Galactic Civil War, an elite squadron of TIE fighter pilots, known as Shadow Wing, is assembled to protect Imperial interests. The exciting new crossover series from Del Rey and Marvel Comics, set after Return of the Jedi, will follow the brutal fallout during the fall of the Empire from both sides of the battle. Now, this book, of course, follows Alphabet Squadron. Marvel Comics is doing a TIE Fighter series, and it's a TIE Fighter series about the pilots that's in Shadow Wing. So I think it's pretty good because I got the comics. They've put out 2 so far. So I've gotten to start to know some of the TIE Fighter pilots. So the other thing is, on the Facebook page, they put out a little blurb about each one of the pilots of the squadron. Now, see, this is what I think is where it's going to tie into X-Wing is, or I'm hoping that it ties into X-Wing, is because since FFG has talked about maybe later on doing these little like booster packs of new pilots or new cards for each faction, this could be a Rebel one. So we could see these pilots in there, kind of how we have like Inferno Squadron in the Empire. How they added those guys in that came from the books and the games. So can you see that?
Yeah, I'll see why not.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
It'd be nice because this one's kind of funny. This is more of the makeup of it seems more of a Rebel list that Chris would run. Because there's all kinds of different ships.
You're right.
So every person in the squadron has a different ship. So the first one is Erica Quell. She flies an X-Wing. It says, Erica Quell and the other members of Alphabet Squadron unite to hunt down the deadly ties Shadow Wing in the wake of the Death Star 2's destruction. They gave a little picture of her, and I had it in. You guys saw that. The next pilot is, or the next ship is a U-Wing. The pilot is Karios. This is the pilot known only as Karios is as distant and unknowable as the void through which she flies. Just as her cloak hides her body and her enigmatic, I don't know, mask.
Take your time. It's a big word, buddy.
Hey, I've been drinking. It's kind of hard. All right, so her mask hides her face. Her silence hides whatever pain and trauma has brought her into the fold of Alphabet Squadron. All her co-pilots know about her is her loyalty to the New Republic and the frightening skill for violence that she employs in its name. So there's another female badass. And then the next one is Will Lark. He flies an A-Wing. It's as if Lieutenant Quill is the head of Alphabet Squadron. Will Lark is undoubtedly its heart. A youth spent on the backs of flying beasts on his peaceful remote homeworld gave him an uncanny gift for piloting and a well of kindness and empathy that has never run dry. But war is a precarious place for a soul as gentle as Will's. So he's the young one. So far we got two females and one male. Now the next one is a Y-Wing. His name is Nath Tennyson. Says, in case you were worried about Alphabet Squadron was missing a scoundrel from the team, this is that pilot. His easy demeanor makes Nath Tennyson mistakable for a common starport lunkhead. But don't be fooled. Whatever it takes and whoever must fall, Nath is a survivor. He survived the total destruction of his unit by shadowing. He survived the seedy underworld of the galaxy as the Empire crumbled, and now that Lieutenant Quill has pulled him back into the New Republic, he's determined to survive. To survive her, too. So he looks kind of like a little, more of a kind of a scoundrel. Now the next one is a B-Wing. Chasna Chaddick. So if it weren't for her luck, grit, and skill, Chasna Chaddick would long ago have found the martyrdom she chases across the battlefields of the galaxy. Instead, she watched her heroes disappear one after another in the name of freedom, leaving her behind. Now, as the New Republic rises, the tide turns. Chas is adrift. Alphabet Squadron's battle with Shadow Wing may be her chance to find new meanings in her life, provided she can be convinced not to seek it in death. So we got a suicidal pilot.
That's what every squadron wants.
What's that?
It's like, oh no, I see another stressful B-Wing in our future.
Yeah. Shit, I thought there was one more pilot. I guess I didn't put him on here. Shit. So what do you guys think? You think that's would be a good addition to the game?
It would give some more variety of pilots for the Rebels. I know there's only 4 options for the B-Wing, 4 for the A-Wing. That's the only thing that kills me. I wish I had better ace pilots to pick from for some of the ships.
I don't know. Both the B-Wing aces are pretty damn good.
Well, yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Wish I had better A-Wing pilots to choose from.
So yeah, I mean, it would be good. It gets at least each one of those ships. Shit, which one did I miss? Did I miss one? What did I miss? Did an A, a B, a U, an X? Did I say the Y?
Yeah, you did.
I don't know.
I don't know, Scott. You tell me there's an E-Wing in that mix, I'll get excited.
No, sorry, no.
Oh, don't do that. He'll start touching himself. Don't.
No E-Wings.
Hey, I'm gonna Go ahead, Kay. I got to run the jobs up.
All right. So, anyways, so this is something I was thinking about that I think it would be kind of cool to bring these pilots in, bring some of those pilots, even the pilots from the TIE Fighter from Shadow Wing. It'd be kind of cool, a new little thing to add in there, something new. I know the TIE Fighters have like a crap ton of pilots already, but
you say the same about the X-Wings.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's more TIE Fighter pilots than any other pilots.
Well, it is the most.
It's the most iconic ship, so
yeah.
Well, it makes the bulk. That's what I'm looking for. It makes it the bulk of the Empire's space forces for their fighters.
So I got two right there. They're flying towards the Death Star. But okay. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to add in?
Nothing I can think of. I think they got maybe one or two more previews they got to do on the FFG before the new release.
Really, it would only be one. It's the Republic or the Resistance transport and the pod.
Oh yeah,
yep.
One about that.
So that, unless they're gonna do another one, I mean, the only other, there's not really anything else unless they're just gonna add in little things like, hey, this is gonna be new on this ship, or like the silencer is gonna be in there but smaller or whatever, in that wave. But there's the only other new ship is that Resistance transport pod and transport and pod.
Yeah, I'm getting an article about that on Monday, and then that'll be it until the release, most likely.
Right, and then it'll be the only next thing is like, oh well, it's released, or get it tomorrow or whatever, and then here's all the papers for it, all the points and the list of them.
And you better believe as soon as I hear someone in our chat group go, hey, they updated X-Wing chat, I'll be like,
yep.
With all the my shenanigans, you know me.
Yep, I know.
Yeah, I'll be looking all morning until they release them.
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye out. I make sure that I keep up when I know there's something that's gonna be coming out. So
I mean, besides that, I think the only other thing coming from FFG I'm looking forward to besides the new X-Wing stuff is their new board game, The Outer Rim.
Oh yes, The Outer Rim. It was funny because my mother-in-law just saw it, and she sent me a web link to it. She just thought she'd like this. So.
It's actually funny because I think I talked with Kyle and Patrick. I think we're going to do a live stream where we play it. Or at least we're going to try. We're going to try. We're going to see if we can get it set up.
Oh, that'd be an easy setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easily doable. I gotta contact GoPro because my damn camera's all jacked up. I don't know what the hell happened to it.
I need to replace the battery in mine, and then mine should be good to go.
Yeah, I mean, my battery should be good. I mean, it's not even a year old.
Is it the same one that kept on turning off on us when we tried to do that live stream?
Yeah, but that was because there was a setting in there for it said to turn off after 15 minutes of like.
Oh.
Gotcha. Yeah, once I found that, I was like, "Yeah, dumbass."
So what you're really saying is, Scott, we'll have to do another live stream.
Yeah, as soon as I can get it back to work, and if I can, I don't know, I'm gonna contact them. Maybe I get a warranty replacement or something. But
hey, it'd be cool. That'd be cool to do a live stream with some of the new stuff when it comes out.
Right. That's why I'm trying to get it done. I was supposed to call today. I forgot. Got too bored at work. It was so slow today.
So you ran out of time because you were bored at work.
Oh, I was bored, and so my mind was
just messing with you, Scott.
And then when I remembered, I'm like, oh man, I was gonna call on that, And I'm like, yeah, it's 4 o'clock time to go. And I'm like, I want to leave. So that's when I said I ran out of time, because once I remembered, it was too late. Yeah. So, you got anything else, Andrew?
No, I don't think so.
All right. I know we don't have anything local going on except for the new league starts today.
Yep.
You put up the pairings, and some of us are grumbling because, like, damn it,
they got to go against me.
Yeah. Somebody has to go against Chris. And then Andrew's got to fly up against his favorite rivalry that he finished the last season playing.
I wouldn't mind it so much if I hadn't just played him in the last league.
Hey, you don't see me complaining, Scott.
Yeah, I played you last night.
I just saw that. I was rolling laughing. I was like, yes. I know I can't use that same list I used against you. Plus, I don't think you want to.
He said it, and I looked at it and I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, what? And I said, Darrin just sent out the pairings. And she goes, well, you playing Chris again?
Should I tell him what happened when we played?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
It was just that opening move that was so bad.
Yeah.
Because I had Emon's fire spray with Bubba as a crew member. I launched that bomb backwards towards your bombers, and you fly right into it. And with Sonterfell, and they all took a crit on the first round of the game.
Yep. And and it's one of those things. Is like I didn't even remember that they did that. So otherwise, I was wondering why you were getting damn excited of where I put my bombers.
I still thought it was funny when you were like, "Don't even tell me what the name of the pilot is. Just tell me it's a Starfighter." I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, because you were using pilots that normally don't get played, so I don't remember those pilots. The popular ones, I remember them. You were just using some of those.
I know everyone's like, "You're not using Guri?" I'm like, "No, I'm using Darrin because I like the idea of any move I do, I can take a stress and rotate 90 degrees."
Hey, I like Darrin. I use him with Guri.
Well, I've only got one Starfighter in my collection. Yeah, because I used it was Emon's fire spray with some bombs. I had Darrin with the Virago title, but I soon came to regret it because I never used the Virago for what its full worth was. It was more of a more expensive shield upgrade because I was always stressed I couldn't do the end turn boost. And he would have been better without maneuver. And I had a Y-Wing, which sadly chased down the last of the bombers. He killed both of the bombers, didn't he, Scott? I forget.
What's that?
The Y-Wing I had, the hired gun. Did he finish off both your bombers?
Yeah.
Didn't help I rolled natties.
No. Yeah, I was telling Andrew about it a little bit. I said, yeah, dice really fucked me up on that one. That one.
I always seem to guess where Darth Vader was going. Also, I was like, let me drop a bomb here.
Yeah. Son of a bitch! You drop a damn fucking proximity mine right on top of me.
But he only did one damage. I blinked the extra damage blanked out though, so he only took the one.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it was mainly the crit bomb that I got the most benefit from.
Yeah, because it screwed everything up.
Yeah, because what was it? You took both the bombers took the hard turn damage.
Fuel leak. Fuel leak on Sonterfell. And the next freaking time I get hit, I get a freaking crit. And then now I get to take an extra damage because of this damn fuel leak.
Yeah, it was from being hit by a bomb twice, wasn't it? Yeah, I hit him the first time with the bomb, and then I finished him off with a bomb.
Right.
I was like, oh man.
Man, just to been able to do drop those bombs with that 3.
The 3 hard 3 too? Oh man.
Yeah, that's what was messing me up because I couldn't even come close.
I'd be like, well, he's gonna chase me, so let me throw a bomb this way. And then I was able to reload it too from the title.
Yeah. We're talking about Chris and I playing a game last night, and now he had some bombs and bad rolls of my dice, and good rolls for Chris.
The only times I had bad rolls was from the proximity mines. I never got any extra damage off on those. The rest of the time, yeah, it was pretty bad.
So Darrin, you're paired up with Larry?
Yeah.
You seem thrilled about that.
I think I'm going to take all A-wings or something like that. Or maybe just as many vulture droids as I can with no upgrades on it.
Well,
it's giving him a chance. I mean, I'm no super gamer, but I mean, I don't know. He's got no strategy.
Yeah, sometimes it seems that way.
I mean, at least you know what Larry's going to be using. There's going to be a TIE Defender.
At least 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he was going to try and do something different.
He's just going to change out the pilots and the defenders.
Squadron.
Oh man.
Yeah, but oh man, I was watching some stuff today, some X-wing stuff, some games from overseas. Oh man, there's one list. I think I saved it, but it had 2 Delta defenders. Oh, what is it? Shit.
The Delta A for sprites?
No, the defenders.
Oh, defenders, gotcha. Okay.
I thought I saved it. Yeah, maybe not. Oh yeah, and it had the 2 Delta Squadron pilots and a shuttle, the Omnicron group pilot. He had collision detector and Palpatine on the shuttle, and then there were just naked defenders. And he went up against a guy that had an Upsilon, a TIE SF, and a silencer. I was quite surprised on how well they did. So if you could get a good combination with his defenders, he could actually do something with them.
Yeah, but it's Larry.
Yeah, but we'll see.
He just flies erratically.
What's that?
Flies so erratically.
Yes, he flies erratically. It's really hard to predict Larry.
I know Larry would be like, you look at the defender, you'd be like, okay, this is probably his best move. Here's Larry, does the complete opposite.
It's hard to guess.
Leaving you going.
Like, okay, damn it. But, that's oh well. We'll see how we fare next week. I do like that there was a nice big group. What was our final total, Darrin? 18? That's pretty good. Pretty good time. So that'll be good. All right. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
I just want to say, Chris, you were laughing about you playing Scott. You had a different reaction when Darrin paired you and I up together.
Who?
Chris.
Chris is not talking.
Yeah.
It's too soon for Andrew. It's like I'll put it like this. Scott's like a cup of coffee in the morning. Andrew, you're like a straight up bottle of Jack Daniels. I can't start my morning like that, man, on the first round.
Oh, so I'll wake you up and get you going good. Yeah, thanks.
Hey, Scott, the best part. I'm not gonna do the old song.
Okay, listen. There's way too many sexual innuendos in that statement alone to really say that we should make this a R-rated freaking podcast. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
But that's Chris.
That's Chris.
That's me. Yeah.
That is Chris.
Or as my buddies at my work will say, they'll be like, Chris.
Look at Darrin. Yeah, nice picture. That sticker going on your car?
Of course.
Sweet.
One of them. I've got a couple of them.
I know you're looking forward to that new thing I made for you.
Oh, where was that one? Saying that, put that one up on the screen again. Oh, it's just a
Viewer discretion. This is a PG-13 broadcast.
Smaller ones.
Yeah.
I'm weird.
Yes, you are. That's all right.
We all have our own little issues some little way.
They put me on high blood pressure medication.
What?
They put me on high blood pressure medication.
I mean, I've been on those things for years.
I have to take my blood pressure twice a day.
Yeah.
My stress levels are just through the roof. I mean, when a nurse starts asking me about my stress levels, and then she's taking my blood pressure, it's like, wait, what are you doing? No wonder it's 170 over 97 or something like that.
Do you know, after I had my little stroke last year, they really kind of upped my blood pressure meds, and I went to the doctor. She's like, "Wow, that's really low." Yeah, you guys got me on enough. Keep me low.
What's
that?
Can I ask you what you're on?
I didn't understand that.
Can I ask you what you are on?
Yeah, I'll tell you off
okay.
Or off the broadcast.
I understand.
Yeah, so all right, so nothing else, guys?
No.
I'd like to quick word about the league. It was brought up at the tournament, the last tournament. About the, you're paying your entry fees and stuff like that. And I know it was joked about in the chat about, Andrew was paid like 2 weeks in advance and Kayla couldn't find it. It's all well and good, but there was still 3 people who did not pay for League 2.
Really?
Yes. And that's fine. They know who they are. But
oh man, I was one of them. I had it on my tab. I was going to close up the end of that day.
No, that's beyond you.
Oh, I'm different. Oh, it's different with me. Okay.
No, I would have called you out, dumbass. But yeah, I mean, I think we need to put it out. If however many people watch this, and I'm going to put it out in the group chat too. Yeah, I try to put out the event soon enough. Ideally, you should go in and pay within that time period before the league starts. That way you're covered.
Right.
If you a couple days late, like a couple people have said, "Hey, can I still pay later after Friday?" I'm like, yes, as long as you make sure you pay. Because what people don't understand is this store isn't making money on our entry fees. Okay, they use the entry fees to buy the tournament kits and to buy other goodies and stuff that we need for the leagues and for the tournaments and stuff like that for prize support. Now, that being said, the way Greg does it is he takes the total league entry fees minus what they paid for the tournament kits. That's what we get in store support during tournaments for your store credit, stuff like that. Okay.
So in a sense, he's breaking even.
Yeah, he's not even worried about making money. That's not a part of it. He's making sure that we get our tournament kits for the prize support, and then we get store credit that we can spend in the store. That's where he's making money.
Yeah, I mean, that's all.
I think people think it's a free thing and they can get away with not playing or paying, and it's not because he's trying to make money. No. I just want people to understand that. It's an honor thing, true, but you know, it helps pay for the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like any of the prize support is free, you know. So I mean, that's why we all got to pay those things. And I mean, even if you go to any tournament, you're always paying an entry fee, and it's not the entry fee for them making money, because they're most of the time they're all just doing the tournaments for fun, and promotion or whatever else you want to add into it. But yeah, most stores don't make anything off tournaments. So especially ours, we're not that big, and so I mean, it was, especially if this league, if being as big as we got 18 people, so everyone pays up and everything. I mean, it'd be pretty nice prizes at the end.
And I mean, we all know that Andrew and James need their prize support to buy new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They need us to help fund all their shit.
Their hobby.
Yeah.
You could take it easy on something, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, you just taking it and say, "Yep, pay you the money, bitch."
I'm playing against Todd. Oh, this would be easy. Sorry, Todd, if you watch this.
Well, at least you didn't put me against James first round this time, Darrin.
I tried, man, but it just wasn't.
But he refresh it. Oh well, I didn't get James, but I got Austin, so we'll stop there.
And yes, I have almost completed the reconstruction of last league and tournament. So I have those new rankings out probably by the end of the week.
Okay, that's good.
It took some time to go back and find stuff. Really good.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it'll be good, because then after everyone has their first week, then everyone can see where they're standing for the whole series.
The top three is going to be, actually top four will be between James, Andrew, Austin, and Josh.
And the bottom rounded out by Scott.
Scott,
yeah.
Ricky, Bella, and
yeah, I know I'm low. I have not been faring too well this year. I don't know what it is.
Chris will probably be second in the veteran.
But okay, so tournament stuff done, or you got anything else on the tournament or league, Darrin?
No.
Nope.
Side note, I guess. During the summer, after the league is done, we have a break before we do a store championship. I'm up for, and I'll put a poll up to see if anybody wants to do something like a summer event. Like maybe around July or something like that.
Okay.
End of July. Do it like a summer event, just to keep everybody in the loop and keep everybody interested in the game and such.
Could always try out that the quick build format.
Yeah,
do a little quick build thing. Yeah.
Maybe do like a little tournament type thing, using on quick build stuff.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And I think maybe what I might do, honestly, is to say, okay, let's say set up 20 quick build lists, and then have them assigned numbers and put number in a hat, like each corresponding number in a hat, and then go around and somebody pick up, pull a number, and then they get that particular list. Maybe outside their comfort zone, outside their faction list, but I'll already have it set up, the ships and everything there.
So just a random list pick, right?
Yeah, just to fly something. Maybe it's something, resistance that you don't know how to fly resistance.
I mean, that'd be good.
I don't know. I have a request, Darrin.
No, I'm not going to give you extra money. No, you can't do it.
Well, besides that,
you're not getting more MOB than anybody else. Oh, sorry, taking it from me.
I mean, we talked about doing some alternate format. I'd like to see, maybe instead of a standard 200-point end cap, we bring back the Duel of the Aces kind of thing.
I've
That
asked about that. I've asked about that, and people have been like disinterested.
Well, how about maybe three or four people? Well, how about maybe an escalation tournament?
Yeah,
escalation was fun. Yeah,
escalation.
That was really fun.
But
I know
people that are like, I don't know, it's too much thinking.
I know. Me and Austin reworked a temporary format for Epic. We did that for like doubles, 2 versus 2, because we did that with it was Josh on the other team. I forget who played with them. Oh, it was Joe. Yeah, Joe and Josh with the Resistance versus me and Austin's Rebel Alliance, and each player had 300 points. They couldn't share unique, so if I had Wedge, Austin couldn't have Wedge in this list. 8 ships max for each type. We pretty much used a lot of the old format from the original Epic. We just didn't have the Epic ships, but there were still plenty of ships on the table to have fun with. We had a good old time when we did it.
You guys used a double mat and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a poll up either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
The summer thing, and I'll put the suggestions others for like dual releases, escalation, or modified epic.
Yeah, if you want help with it, I'll help run the modified Epic one.
And
that way you can get a break also.
Yeah. There's also one format that that somebody did at one of the big tournaments for FFG, but it was called a fur ball. Have you seen that one?
I know what a fur ball is, but yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, so I mean, there's an idea for that too.
That'd be interesting.
You can also do like a thematic event, like.
Well, now see.
Well, that's a hyperspace kind of thing, anyways.
Well, to a point, but in 1.0, pretty much all of the big boxes are in like that Kilo scenarios, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they stopped doing those scenarios, didn't they?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
But you can still those scenarios and still use them in 2.0.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll run something like that.
Yeah, well, some good ideas we can toss around.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you working on?
What's that?
I was asking Andrew what he's working on.
Oh, I'm just AdMech for Warhammer.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I got it.
Yeah, I'm building some AdMech to hang out with my knights. And...
I know nothing of what you're talking about, so.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Scott. Stick to X-Wing.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all I got for everyone. And nothing else. You good?
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't pre-ordered the Alphabet Squadron book, we'll pre-order on Amazon.
Yeah, and there's actually a little thing. If you go to the Star Wars Books Facebook page, if you pre-order the book and you send in a picture of your receipt showing that you pre-ordered it, they'll send you a Alphabet Squadron flight patch.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it have to be through them?
What's that?
Does it have to be pre-ordered through them?
No. It says pre-order through any bookstore.
Okay.
So as long as you can show them the receipt, they'll for the bookstore.
So would email of a purchase count?
Yeah, I mean if that's your receipt.
I just pre-ordered it on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean you pre-order it on Amazon and you can send it in and they can, I'm sure I mean, I didn't see him say anything about Amazon, but well, I'm sure it works the same way. Because you only can really pre-order. Well, most of the time you pre-order stuff online, anyways.
True.
So, anyways, so there's that book coming out, and then in 13 days is the release of Wave 4. So we're going to get all these and those new ships that they're going to be reintroducing into the game. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight, Chris and Andrew and Darrin. Yeah, and thank you to any viewers or listeners for putting up with all of our shenanigans and our banter, all that crap talking and stuff like that during this episode. So join us next week where we're probably gonna have a preview of the Resistance Transport and Resistance Transport Pod. So like I said, 13 days. So we got just one more full week before we see it. So now, if you like what you've just watched or listened to, make sure you like us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Podbean, where we have our audio podcasts. Make sure you, on YouTube, click the notifications so you get notified when we have new videos. So Facebook page, where I post in there, I'll be posting the link to this video on YouTube in there shortly. So it'll be there for anyone to watch later on. Yeah, I guess that's all I got. That's it. You can help us with furthering the podcast by becoming a patron on our Patreon page. The link is going to be in the show notes down below the video. And there's also going to be some other links in there to other people's websites or Facebook pages or whatnot. So I'm Scott Smith. I'm saying goodnight for Viper Squadron. Good night, guys.
I think I have the best beard in the group.
All right.
Longest, not best.
All right. So, and since Chris is the only one without a beard, little baby face.
Not all of us can grow beards.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. So we're gone and we're out.
Peace.